And hello. We are live. No? Yes? Question mark? Taking a second for Twitch to realize. Says I'm streaming, but I don't see my preview. Oh, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So, we'll wait for my mod to get here. Because I gotta ask her, how's my sound, given that I'm 3D printing something in the background. In the meantime, we can update VS Code. I can drag this around. Ooh. There we go. And we'll boot up our emulator. And we'll also get some music going on. That might help with some of the background noise. Uh, uh, well, hopefully somebody tells me whether or not my sound is good at some point. Otherwise, we'll continue from where we left off, which I haven't streamed in about like a week. Oh, sorry. How's my sound? Can you hear the 3D printers? Oh, good. Okay. All right. So, anyway, um, we haven't been live for about like, oh, what's up, OX? We haven't been live for like about a week now. I think last time we were on was pretty much last Sunday or something stupid like that. Um, been very busy at actual work. Um, launching a new platform at my job, and so it was kind of crunch time. So things have calmed down a bit, so we're back to this. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off in getting rest to schedule. Yep. Hate jQuery. Always breaking, one of the most stable packages out there. So is jQuery, is it still relevant with like the other frameworks out there? Like, what are some of those frameworks? What's the one with the V? Uh, well, Svelte was something I was thinking of. But what's the one with the V? I thought, or is it an N? Vue, that was it. It's Vue. Vue.js. Yeah, I had to use Vue at a point way back in the day. I didn't really like it. was more of a general to anybody, Olex. Anyway, buddy, how you doing? This should be on the right-hand side. Oh, yeah? Any reason you, moved? Just, for funsies? I guess since you now work from home, you probably don't have to pay those, I guess I don't know where you lived beforehand. I was assuming California, just because Amazon, but maybe you were always remote. Actually, why don't we just center it? Yeah, I'm not sure how California is anything like the USSR, but I personally also wouldn't want to live in California, but I suppose for different reasons. Okay, so we have our schedule. I mean, there are a lot of other states in the US where it's the same, but just the other way around. So, that's not an unsurprising problem. So let's add some of our Rust instances. We'll just call them Rust instances. We don't need the whole schedule part. It's implied. And at least in New York, it's pretty half and half, given upstate is fairly red and eastern Long Island is a little red too. But the city and western Long Island are pretty blue. Okay. And we'll also want to assign the actual cycle. Yeah, I don't know. I think California is probably a little bit better place to live than USSR, but I haven't lived in either, so I suppose I can't really say. But just guessing. Well, I guess actually the exercise controller can hold on to this stuff. This could just be that. Pretty surprised that you guys cannot hear my 3D printer because it's very loud. I mean, I'm happy about it, but rest instances, add rest. Okay. And we will need... This should be disabled if they didn't actually select anything. This should be an and. There we go. Well, maybe we should just assume that every block is, and then you sort of deselect the blocks. Let's work with it like this for now. There's a smidge. Okay. Okay, and navigator context pop. Okay, and let's see if we can get some of these blocks in here. All right. So it's... We should probably have maybe a parent class for a schedule instance, and that will just sort of, you know, hold whether or not it's rest or whether it's, you know, exercise, cardio or weights, whatever the options are here. So let's try that out. Schedule instance. Start class schedule instance. And we can pull this in here too. We'll have this extend that, and then this can extend the schedule instance, and it all kind of loops back around. And so we'll do a list of schedule instances. God, this soundtrack is so loud right now. I guess we can switch to that part 2 of Amphorius now. Probably at a good time for that. There we go. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to think with this fucking 3D printer. It just goes beep burp, it burp constantly. Anyway. So actually, this isn't quite correct because we needed to only get the instances for the appropriate time. Should we put the cycle in charge of that? I think so. Widget.cycle. Get instances. And then we give it the day. And then this one is the block. Very dramatic song. Okay, so return. Well, we of course need this right here. Types. And we can just do, if it doesn't contain any of this, we could just get out of here. And if instance block indices is not empty, then we'll do instance block indices contains block, turn false, and we'll have to negate this, and finally return true. Okay. Cool. And I don't even remember what we actually even set for this. I think we just chose like every day. No, we chose the first day of every block. That's what we did. Okay. So we'll do a rest display. Take our instances, we'll map through them. Make it not growable. And we'll do if instance is rest, otherwise we'll do a placeholder. You guys will have to let me know if the music needs to be adjusted at all, because I can literally not hear it over the printer. So let's do a container. And we actually have to pass in our lovely press schedule instance. Instance. There we go. And did we assign labels to these? I don't think we did. I figured we'd just call it rest, but I don't know. Maybe they'll actually want to be able to give it a name. So we'll call it label and just call it rest. Okay. We have to grab our app color scheme. And give it a little padding. That is too much padding. That was probably an okay amount of padding horizontally, but this is still too high. Let's have it. You know what? I think we're just gonna have it take up full width. And we'll center our text. There we go. We'll want a little bit of padding over here as well. And we could probably just stick with a solid 4 pixels. And I suppose we'll add in our label block again. Let's the row, adaptive text, label, and an expanded text field. Oops. And if text is null, we will read. I guess we can set a validator. Make sure that this is a required field. That might be best. Add a form key, and then we will validate it at the bottom. Okay. Good enough. And if we do, we could reuse this dialogue here to actually pass back in the rest when it's time to then edit it. Nope, this needs to be required. And we could do something like this. And we can just grab the rest that way, so it's always in scope and I don't have to call widget 1,000 times. That's a little bit nicer. Okay, back to here. We can add an inkwell, which kind of fucks up the decorations, but that's okay. Rest.cycle. Bottom material. Can I just tell this to turn into rounded rect shape? Nice. Okay, and then when we click on it, we get this again. Okay. Oh, what's up, PJ? How's it going, man? How's your server going? Were you able to figure out that WebSocket issue? I know that was like a goddamn week ago, so. We'll set deleted to true, and then we'll call our rest schedule instance table. Although we actually don't have one, so to do delete rest. The WebSocket was a simple wildcard instead of an I wonder what you needed to wildcard for. Be careful with that. Make sure you're not accepting too many things. Usually when you add a wildcard, it kind of over accepts. But I've been good, buddy. Pretty good. Very, very busy though, unfortunately. Although I guess busy isn't necessarily bad, but haven't been able to stream because I've just been exhausted. I've been launching a new platform at work, and it's sort of taken everything out of me. That should be wrapping up in the next week or two. I demoed it for the head of my company just last week on Thursday. He was pretty happy, so all good to move forward. And that should pretty much have been the toughest part. Okay, and if deleted, we also don't want it. Yeah, there we go. And we'll want to rebuild the schedule. So we'll pass in cycle state callback, which will just be we'll check if mounted, even though that's not really useful. Oh, and OLX, we just got another one of those streamer bots, you know, pay per views. There you go, there you go. Your favorite. Set state callback. That's not what it's called. What is it? State setter? Yeah, state setter. I guess it's just a void callback. And we'll be sure to call that after here. Starting driving lessons next Monday. Oh, are you are you a young un? Or are you just never got to it? I know you're from almost, was it Bulgaria? Oh man. Sorry, forgive me, I don't quite remember. In the US we start driving at 16. Any tips for driving? You know what? I'll give you one that, you know, you probably heard everything else. But some people neglect to mention this one thing, right? And I find trips people up. You're 17. Yeah, okay. Also, you're starting a pretty big project for someone of your age. That's pretty cool. So when you put the car in reverse, right? You don't actually have to press the gas to make it go backwards. It'll just kind of start going. Same way, actually, in drive. The car will just start going. But, you know, pretty much whenever you're in drive, you're also hitting the gas. You don't really have to ever hit the gas when you're in reverse. You pretty much should always just have your foot kind of on the brake and just kind of let it off, and you'll start going backwards. I've seen people, their first time, the lessons are on a manual. Oof. All right, don't shift in the red, and don't downshift below 1,000 RPM. You're pretty much good. Pretty much after that. But I've seen a lot of people when they get in the car for the first time, they put it in reverse and they immediately like hit the gas, and then they end up flying backwards and then panicking. Don't do that. I don't know if you were going to, but I've seen it happen. I took my driving lessons with 3 other people, and I think 2 of them made that mistake their first try. I know my brother did too, actually. But at least in a manual, reverse is still reverse. Put it in reverse, slam the gas. Yep, exactly. You were paying attention. Other than that, you know, you've seen people drive. It's not that complicated. Um, in terms of staying in the lines, focus your vision closer to the horizon than actually the lines, you know, kind of next to you. And play GTA 5 a little bit, you know. Obey the traffic laws in GTA 5. They do it in first person, and you'll feel all right. Actually, not kidding. Before well, I only ever had one driver's test, but before my driver's test, I actually did do that for a little bit. Not that it was of any actual help, but it was at least amusing. Okay, now on to the actual hard part, which is adding, well, I guess cardio, huh? Cardio might is the middle hard part. Weights is truly the hardest because there's so many options. Um, Alrighty. So we'll do cardio. Cardio dialogue. Um, do another stateful. We'll split this on the right. Driving is pretty easy. It always kind of came naturally to me, honestly. I never had any real trouble getting to drive, and I don't imagine you will either. Um, Manual's a bit different, though. Obviously, that might suck. I probably wouldn't want to learn how to drive a manual for my first car. I don't know if you live in a hilly region, but then it extra sucks. I live on Long Island, which is, you know, being that it's an island, it's pretty flat. So it probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but for a first time, kind of sucks. When I first got my latest car, it's an automatic with the ability to throw it into manual. And there were a couple of times I would just drive around a manual for no reason. Just because it was fun. But there was truly no reason for that. In fact, it got kind of annoying whenever I would get stuck in like traffic. Then it would suck. But then when you're actually at any sort of speed, then it's super boring because, you know, you're just in whatever 7th, 8th gear and just kind of sit there. You have to do hill starts and hill parking. Hill starts probably suck. Hill parking's not too bad though. Just parking brake and turn your wheels out to the side. But I assume, you know, your driving teacher will give you everything that you need to know. Hopefully, if they're any good. Sorry, big Medemos song. So we'll go here, we'll copy this, rename it to cardio. You know, I always wonder, like, when I took driving lessons, the cars were sort of the property of the actual instructors. You know, and they were luckily not that great of a car, you know, for them. But I always wonder, you know, how many cars did they probably burn through, you know, in their time of teaching with just, you know, a stupid kid just crashing into, like, honestly anything. I'm not even 100% sure if my instruction car had it so that the instructor could even brake in case something did happen. Now that I think about it, I think it was just a regular like Impala, Impala car, like a 2011. Yeah, it was something like this. It seemed just a regular car to me. Maybe they did have a pedal. Really? They're that expensive? Honestly, I don't actually know how expensive they are here either. Given, you know, my parents handled that. But damn, depending on how many people they got in the car, could buy a whole new car. Like I said, I had 3 people. That would have been crazy. I can't imagine it was any more than like a grand or two. And that car was probably around closer to 8 grand, maybe. The 2012 Impala back in 2017, 2016. Maybe closer to 10, 11 grand. I don't know. 26 now, so hard to think back. We'll grab another form key because we'll end up needing it later. I think the cars are just cheap. Less than star 1200. Yeah, okay, so that's about where it is. Although yours are, I assume, in euros. So that would be closer to. Actually, I don't know what our conversion rate is anymore because our president kind of fucked that up, huh? Euro to dollar. It's actually kind of went back. Oh no, yeah. No, never mind. I was reading it backwards. Yeah, you guys gained quite a bit. Oh, cool. Okay, so BGN currency. The Bulgarian lev. Cool. I wonder, hmm. I wonder how converting to euro will affect you. I imagine it would be great in the long run because obviously you get a lot more buying power, but the initial conversion probably sucks. Hmm. What does your money look like? Kind of looks like tiny Australian dollars, actually. Is that right? Yeah, kind of. Actually, what do euros look like? I can't even remember. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. They look pretty close to euros, actually. 2 price tags, so it's strange. At least, hopefully, in your country, you have tax included on your price tags. Yeah, our currency is so boring. It's just green. It's this pale, ugly green. Yeah, tax is included. That's great. Super annoying in our country where you don't get to know it until, the actual time you get to the register. So pretty much you'll add up everything and you'll pretty much just have to mentally go, it's at least 8% more expensive. And that changes all the time, so it's at least usually 8. Which isn't the worst math in the world, but I remember as a kid, um, I went to like a 7-Eleven. I assume you probably have those there. Um, Going up to the counter and then buying like a 1.99 candy bar or something and like handing them $2 and then being like, "This isn't enough." I went, "What do you mean? It has the sticker." And they were like, "But tax." And I went, "Oh my God, you're right." I think I was like 12. I wish we had nicer currency. What's Canada? I think theirs are a little bit blander. Canadian dollar. Nope, theirs are cool too. They have the fucking queen for some reason. You know, also, I think pretty much the euro, the Canadian dollar, and the Australian dollar are all they're all waterproof, I think too. And the US dollar isn't. So if you get it wet, it just disintegrates. It's just the worst. You think that the dollar bill is cool? Maybe for someone who didn't grow up, with them in literally everywhere. Sometimes the old $100 Ben Franklin is cool, but that's mostly just because, it's $100. Honestly, his chin is a little off-putting. He was an interesting guy. He liked he's well known for his love of elderly women and flying kites and rainstorms. Although I think that last part is just a myth. I always liked Abe Lincoln though on the 5. He's also on our penny. I do think our quarters are cooler. We have all different kind of ones, different kinds of quarters, and they change depending on the state. So a state will have its own quarter. Like here's a New York one. This is just base one. Can't tell what that one is. Buffalo has its own one too. It looks so off. The 50? Grant? Really? $50 bill? That looks normal to me. Ulysses S. Grant. He was a cool guy. He fought for the Union in the Civil War. He was our big general man. Helped abolish slavery. Other than Abe Lincoln, he's probably one of the cooler guys on the bills. Georgie boy wasn't too bad. Jackson sucked. He was a fucking racist. Poisoned all the natives. Gotta be honest, I don't know much about Hamilton other than that he was very economically astute. Maybe if I saw that play after him. You think Grant's the Santa Claus guy? Or which was the Santa Claus guy? The Mythical 2? 2 is Jefferson down here. Yeah. I didn't realize he was actually on the screen. I have a $2 bill right in front of me actually. The $50 guy looks like Santa. Do you have a weird Santa? Not Santana. Santa? Because, he would need quite the beard. I guess he's a little, like, pudgy. Hey, Drickle. Younger Santa. A young Santa. Okay. Do you have a special Bulgarian Santa? No. I like this guy. Looks a little weird. Shape face. Well, I'll never be able to not think that he's Santa now. Thank you for that. Ulysses S. Grant, Santa. Does anyone else agree with you? Oh, you're not alone. There we go. All right. Grant was actually, you know what? I dare say he was a little handsome in his youth. Certainly better than Lincoln at the time, who was known to be quite off-putting and a little bit hard to look at. And apparently also had a bit of a strange voice. And his beard, I think he looked extra weird before the beard, I'm told. Until a little girl wrote him a letter saying, please, Lincoln, you know, you came to speak near me, and I think you do better with a beard, because all scholarly men have beards or something like that. What's the Russian Santa then? Oh, this guy's cool. He actually looks like, you know, big ice guy. I mean, it looks like he's mostly been taken over by the red, but I like the blue version. Wow. Russia has the best Santa. Look at that. You are absolutely right, Trickle. Damn. What about the Finnish Santa? They got the actual reindeers. Sorry, with the double N. What? Is this their Santa? Is a Finnish Christmas figure. Wow. Okay. The Christmas goat. Man, it is amazing. The different mythoses across the world. That's pretty cool. That's a fucking weird one. About the Russian one? What movie? You know, if you can actually write it. Alright, what about Norway Santa? Norwegian Santa. Julianison. Julianison? Yeah, he looks closer to like regular old German Santa. Then there's, you know, Krampus. Krampus, the dark history of Christmas. But what about Bill Schnickel? Bill Schnickel. Santa. Belschnickel. There we go. Pennsylvania Dutch and Brazilian German. Brazilian German. I didn't know that Brazilians had a big German population. Hmm. While I have been to Germany, I was only in the Berlin area. And actually a little bit up here. Didn't get to the western part. Cool. Weird stuff. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Well, I don't personally celebrate Easter. I'm not Christian. But the like traditional Easter thing is sort of two things, right? So we have the Easter bunny where we go on an egg hunt. Yeah, right, Abby. Where like the grown-ups will hide these colored eggs like around either a home or some other area, and the kids will get up and hunt for eggs and keep them in a basket. Sometimes the basket has goodies like candy and stuff in it. Um, and it's just a whole big thing to um, collect all the eggs. After that, there's usually a big Easter dinner. Um, and that, sort of differs by that one's a little bit more on the religious side, and so it kind of differs by sect. I think like Italians do like this big 10-course meal with all these fishes and things like that. I think they also do that for Christmas. Um, yeah, I don't know. Old Cillian Murphy. Now I gotta look him up. Your family did ham? Yeah, Easter ham, I think is. Yeah, he really does. Wow. I was actually thinking when I saw that he looks like Oppenheimer. I didn't realize that was the actor's name. You're 100% right. I should have said it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this guy, he's Irish. Interesting. I didn't know he was Irish. I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. We should do that, MB, one day, since it's apparently a good movie, but I know it's like 3 hours and you can't sit through that. Um, so we can mostly take all of this, duplicate it for the most part, just change rest everywhere to cardio. Cardio, cardio, cardio. Cardio, cardio. Well, Easter is a Christian holiday. It is, the holiday where, Jesus, I think, rose from the dead, no? No, I know definitely, like, the Jewish don't. I'm not Jewish either. I don't think Muslims do either, although technically, I guess they do recognize Jesus as a prophet. I don't know about Messiah. Um, not too in touch with Islam. So now it's really just a Christian thing. But how is Flutter development? I used it many years ago, then I switched to Rust. Um, you switched from Flutter to Rust. That is a very interesting jump. Um, what did you switch to for Rust? Like Tori or something like that? Because that's Flutter isn't really a systems language like Rust is. So to me, they're not really quite equatable. Other than what the Tori package does. Um, Tori, yeah, Tori, which is a pretty much Flutter, PHP, Java, JS, Dart to Rust. Interesting. Um, so Tori is what Tori is for Rust. Flutter is for Dart. But I really like Flutter. It's come a long way. Ujiho, Ujibo. Um, UG, an easy to use E Igui. Okay, so this actually looks a little bit closer to Swift UI, honestly. I really like Flutter, just to answer your original question. I think it's been great. I've been following it since like 2018, so quite a while. Web development has come a long way. They just got hot reload on the web, so that's been great. They changed out their native backend renderer back in like 2.6 or 7 um, to Impeller. Data's way faster, way smoother. And they've adopted actually a lot of Rust conventions. So pretty much a lot of the iterator stuff that you can do in Rust, you can now do in Dart. Um, for building actual like UIs and platforms, I think Flutter is almost, I wouldn't say unrivaled, but it is very good for how little you actually have to do to get it to work cross-platform and for it to just be fast because it's ahead of time compiled instead of like JavaScript and using React Native, which is so bloaty and ultimately at the end of the day kind of is interpreted and so it's very slow. Um, no, you pretty much don't have to custom edit any platform files except for things like if you need to grab people's like location stuff like that that require platform specific permissions, you'll have to edit like a file here or there. So in Android you'll have to go in and edit the manifest file. um and iOS you'll have to touch the info.plist. But no, pretty much you can pretty much just a lot of it's plug and play now. They got a lot better at it. I do recall that, yeah. I remember even just struggling to get Google Maps to work back in the day because you had to add in so much shit. No, it's pretty easy nowadays. Maybe it's something that you'd want to give another shot for. Give it. Maybe you'd want to give it another shot. Not like a Flutter shill, but I've been working on one app at my job for like 4 years now. I don't regret building it in Flutter at all. I think it's been great. I definitely would not have wanted to do it in JavaScript. I mean, just well, JavaScript fucking sucks because it's, you know, not strictly typed. But yeah, if you've heard me rant about that 1,000 times, I know PJ has. um, okay, now I gotta actually set the floating action button to do what it's supposed to do. Wait, show cardio scheduler. I spelled that wrong. Show cardio scheduler. And then we'll go ahead. I think you need to write a crate for widget style. Already have used ELM Flutter widget, but not very stable. Yeah, so Elm isn't bad for Rust. Well, like I know what you mean, like the architecture, but seriously though, you should check out Tori. It's probably the closest thing. Where's the guide? Reference an example. Come on, where's a good code example? Usually they have examples of this stuff. Anyway, for Rust, I recommend Tori. They hit their 2.0 release very recently too, so I would pretty much consider it, you know, a somewhat mature platform. Tori code example. Can we get like a real example? Okay. Nope, not what I meant. Tori widgets. And I do think there is another, yeah, there's GTK, but that's really for desktops. Iced? Maybe Iced is something you'd be interested in. Which is that Elm inspired package that you were talking about. Maybe this is what you meant by they already have it, but it's not very stable. They built some cool things with it already. Like, this is pretty. Yeah, no, I actually think this one is the closest to Flutter, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah. Sorry. Iced is the Flutter of Rust. Yeah. With Xylem. Um, repo contains experimental architecture implemented with masonry. Oh yeah, this works pretty well too. That might be a nicer, that might be a little bit more ergonomic. at least it resembles the nested structure of Flutter pretty well. Can I get a, oops, code example? Yeah, this is pretty good looking. How, yeah, it's not even on a 1.0 release though. I tend not to want to deploy anything like that in production if they haven't even hit like a 1.0 kind of milestone. At least for you know, things I do at my actual job, it's just too risky. Maybe to play around for something like for like a dumb app like this, it might be fun though. Uh, Hold on, let me turn on the AC. It's getting hot in here with my 3D printer going off. Alrighty. Did I not actually start the cardio widget? Ah, okay, there we go. What happened to all my spacing? Did this not have spacing? Oh no, it did. I just didn't copy it over. Whoops. Much better. Schedule cardio. Delete cardio. Where is cardio? Apparently I closed it. And from here, we'll kind of have to add options for duration, as well as, I suppose, a drop down to properly select your type of cardio. So we'll kind of need to provide like an entire model just to describe what kind of cardio you're doing. So running, jogging, walking, speed walking, crab walking, bear walking. Weekly production Flutter app for customer and freelance. Cool. Okay, so you got some good experience with it at least. But yeah, if you're talking about 2.3, it sounds like you haven't been with it for a while. We're on now 3.35. So 2 dot whatever would have been in here. Unless you're referring to the Dart SDK specifically. What they do for in this version. What was it like? Oh, this is when they added this. Right, right, right. Yeah, I've been around since could have been around here or earlier. Yeah, around here. Yeah, I think I remember when they just started, when they pushed out dark mode. That was like the last thing I saw before I took a break. And then I put it down for a while. Brings me back. Okay, so like I said, we'll have to do the duration. That can be adaptive text duration. Okay. How did you know? And I think I have a duration picker already. I have a duration picker dialog. Which I think is just the normal one, or is this the one that I made? Yeah, apparently I made this. Do I have a utility for, yeah, to make duration? Human readable. I suppose you shouldn't have to specify a duration. Resocoder. Hey PJ, welcome back. No, you didn't miss anything, buddy. um, this is a Flutter boot camp. Check his TDD. TDD course. Clean architecture plus TDD. Sorry, what is TDD? Architecture. Test-driven development. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, well, you can use whatever way works for you. I've kind of developed my own style over like the many years of it. As you'll certainly notice as I go ahead. um, uh, yeah, why don't you? It's you get the benefit of, you drive with one hand, you hold, your drink in the other. Um, you could do both at the same time. It's not crazy. Not crazy at all. Really, it's 18 there. It's you probably already know, but it's 21 here in the US. Maybe you're not aware. I think we're kind of notorious for that. Oh yeah, yeah. If you have a manual, it's a little bit trickier. That's fair. Code generators like freezed. Yeah, I could never really get into them. I don't know. I just same with provider. I never got into using that sort of style. I learned it, just bare vanilla Flutter first, and so it never really made sense for me to go and use them because it didn't really look like it would save me too much time. I've sort of made my own what do you call it? Code generators myself, right? So I made this thing called Driftweaver a long time ago that handles really my database classes, right? So it sort of generates all the code needed for Drift, which is a SQLite sort of wrapper. To me, Drift is probably the best database that they have out there. I highly recommend it. I tried using ESAR a long time ago, but I think that's dead. At least he hasn't updated in a bazillion years. Let's see if he ever actually did. No, that's been like a year since I checked. Oh, did they start updating it again? Did he just give it up? What did he do? It's about time. He was like holding on to this thing with like a death grip for a while. You see there is a huge gap in updates. I guess, yeah, contributors. I guess he finally opened it up. It got so bad that people created their own like open source version. Not open source, it is open source, but like a community one so that people could actually contribute. Did he change anything? It would also just lose data. Here's some advanced programming words that you don't understand. Sorry. If you could tell me what I said, I can explain. But it's not coming. Yeah, it's just in maintenance mode. Yeah, project is dead. Okay, it's still dead. Yeah, so people took to it to forking it themselves, but like apparently, oh, there we go. This is still just bug fixes. Don't use ESAR. I made that mistake a long time ago. I had to rewrite the entire database in like a weekend, and that was awful. I had like 50 tables. That wasn't fun. Same problem when I actually used SQLite. Well, a different problem. I tried using SQLite before, and its implementation of async was just so garbage that it would lock my entire app when I would use it on an outer thread, on an isolate. It was terrible. It could have been worse. I did it very quick, at least. Talking about dining table. Yeah. What state library do I use? None. Here's what I use. Nothing. No state library. Just don't need it. Right, I made this really ugly duration picker. I guess it doesn't look too bad, but I don't like that it's off center at least. We can make this accent. What do you mean, can I also do front-end graphic code? That's what we're doing. How are you talking about? And let's get the app color scheme. App color scheme. And if what's wrong? Oh, it's not recognizing what that is. Can I make it pretty? Yes, I can make it pretty. Thank you. Yes. I don't really have any good examples for you in this app, but I guess my best example is something like this. But yeah, I can do that. Yes, this app is ugly though. I will admit. Functionality before form, man. And why doesn't this have build context as a thing? There we go. I think this is in info and then app color scheme. Yeah, okay, that worked. I'd love to show you guys my production app, like that I actually make as a day job, but too bad. I don't think I'm allowed to just show that off, so. At least, I imagine if they knew, I'd get in trouble. Maybe. I could technically log into one thing and show you a couple things, but I probably shouldn't, so I won't. You know what? I'll show you my loading screen. Bolt AI. Um, make an app for designing the perfect s'more. And that's the problem, isn't it? I assume you have to pay, yeah. Oh, it's free? Wow. I didn't expect that. You know what? If you want a good example of something that actually looks decent, I'll show you my loading screen. Oh, actually, it's fucked up. I forgot. Forgot I messed it up at the very beginning because I got confused. I have a much better version of this. Whoops. Never mind. Gotcha. I already pay for ChatGPT and everything, so that's enough. Oh, I can smell dinner has been started. The onions have drifted under the door and into my room. And it burns the eyes. It is amazing how quickly that stuff takes over. Smells pretty good though. Well, it just smells like onions actually, so I'll take that back, but you know. Anyway, so we'll do cardio type. We'll do expands it, and we'll do a throttle drop down field. And so here's the big problem, right? Do we make a giant enum that contains all of our cardio, or do we turn them into tables? I feel like I have to turn them into tables. I'd love to see it if you could figure out a way to show me, PJ. You want to, I literally have no idea. Obviously, I can't just like pass my stream over to you and then you share it, but you know what I mean. If there's a way you can show me, then I'd be happy to take a look. Yeah, man, those onions are burning. Ooh. I deleted my dialogue. Whoops. All right, time to bite the bullet. Make the cardio model. Wah wah. Extends, just Drift Weaver. We'll give it a name. Pretty much it should always have a name. Maybe we'll add a boolean for whether or not it's outdoors. Or let's rename it to trackable. That's probably a better thought. I suppose that's all we need. Just to like get something bound here. I think every instance of cardio can feature intervals, right? That doesn't have to be a flag, meaning like Go fast, go slow, go fast, go slow. Incline, decline, incline, decline. I don't have a Discord for Algamoth, unfortunately. I only have my personal one, which contains my actual name, so I can't give you that quite yet. I suppose I could make an account. I guess I can do that. I guess I've been meaning to do it anyway, right? Yeah, how do I sign out? There we go. Add account. Yeah, I'll make one for you. Why can't I sign up? It's just asking me to sign in over and over. Discord, sign up. There we go. So I actually wanted to know how to sign up on the browser. And when you click it, oops, apparently there is not a way. So apparently you kind of just have to do it from the desktop app. So let me open that. Hopefully on a different screen. Let me actually hide my desktop just in case, because it'll probably open up on the main screen. It sure did. There we go. Switch accounts. Add accounts. Why won't it let me like make a new account? What the hell? What is this garbage? Damn the song. Well, I used to have it for like, you know, real life friends in like high school and shit. Way before I ever started the Algama train. I gotta be honest, I literally don't know how to... Okay, log out. There we go. Register. There we go. The Algamoth. 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 What do you mean the username is unavailable? Who the fuck is already Algamoth? Are you kidding me? No way. God. No fucking way somebody's already Algamoth. Alright. I just came up with another one. It's algo_moth. Yeah, well, when I was fucking 7 and I made my gamer tag, it was really fucking cringy, and so I don't like to use that one anymore. I've gone through several over the years because I keep thinking that they're too cringe. You're 11. Well, at least yours is like super simple, right? PJBG, like I don't know. It's kind of nothing, right? So it's pretty easy. All right, almost there. I'm at the point where I'm verifying my email. Well, you, when you joined, I had a problem, so can I rename the server after I make it? Yeah, okay. All right, I now have a server. Oh, and apparently I connected to the voice chat. Whoopsie. Oh, damn, this song won't let up. Okay, how do I share this? Invite people. Set this link to never expire. Here you go. I'll even pin it. There you go. There you go. Now you can add your lovely UI, I imagine, and I'll show it off. Let everyone see. Hey, there you are. All right, while you're getting set up, we'll continue with this. And we now have to define 1,000 cardio thing. I guess we have to load it. And we'll do just a master load function like we like. Ah, here we are. Minecraft servers, free forever. Ah, that does look pretty good. Block host. 99% uptime, instant setup, and 24/7 support. That's a bit bold. These are some bold claims for a 17-year-old not even ready to start driving yet, but I appreciate it. It does look pretty good. Uh, I assume this is like a Minecraft screenshot in the background, yeah? Nice. Oh, and I now know that your name starts with a D. Be careful. Oh, there's more. Why choose block hosts? Free 4 gigabytes of RAM. I want to capitalize that part, but very nice. Mod pack support. Enterprise grade DDoS protection. Okay. Automatic backups. This looks pretty good, I gotta say. It looks pretty good, man. Oh, sorry. Okay, then I take it back. I take it. That's pretty funny. Looks pretty good. Nice, man. Now, I gotta ask. He said you were like, you bought a bunch of hardware for crypto shit. Where are you getting this shit, man? You're like 17. What happened? You got like family or something that, you know? Because, man, I mean, cool. Why'd you get that when you were 14? I mean, that's obviously all awesome, but like, but why? You were entrepreneurial minded from quite a young age, huh? That's pretty sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty awesome. I'd be curious to see where you're at when you're my age now. It's really cool, dude. Maybe you'll surpass me. At least maybe 26-year-old me. Because I'm not slowing down either. exercise controller, cardio is not cardio, it's just cardio. Hint text, select, cardio type. Why is my editor horribly slowing down? Let's do a reload. Oh, cool. 1 sec. I guess, you know what? Let me actually sign in through the desktop. 1 second. No way, we're not going around and around and around with this. Add account. There we go. Ooh. Nice. You got a lot of the UI done already. This looks pretty good. Server console, very nice. For the mods, are you gonna connect that to like, what is it? Forge? Was it Minecraft Forge? Is that a thing? Curse Forge? Curse Forge. I wonder if they have an API for you. Yeah, get a list of mods belonging to the same game. Yeah, you could do it this way. Then you could populate it with like a whole mod list for you to select from. That would be awesome. When you get the mod, can you actually like, can you download the jars like right away? They still use jars, right? Oh yeah, yeah, okay. I at least don't see a way to grab the files, so download URL. Your UI looks pretty good. I quite like it. Looks better than whatever the fuck I'm dealing with over here. Nice, man. Very, very cool. Oh, okay. So actually, the URLs are actually pretty standard. So you could construct a pretty easy just download thing with relative ease. I assume it just downloads right away. Yeah, it may yell at you to actually do the redirect, but well, still, it looks very nice. AI or not. I guess you have to have good taste. Can I'll pay you that compliment. uh, cardio. Sorry. Why is my editor just absolutely freaking out? It goes through weird periods of like of this where VS Code just cannot seem to get its shit together. Like the crypto mining times. I wish I had the disposable income to buy shit. I was too busy taking girls on dates. I had to pay for sushi dates, man. This shit's expensive. Why is this not okay? Oh yeah, sushi dates at 14. Well, 15, but yeah. uh, this dot cardio. There we go. I suppose. I suppose. If you want to give me that credit. It was expensive, but man, was the sushi good. It's well worth it. And lots of Italian food. And occasionally just Taco Bell, right? Because, you know, who doesn't like Taco Bell? I would work at my dad's place over the summer, and that would be my my money for the rest of the year to take her on a date. I'm taking one girl. You're only 17. You'll get there. You don't even have a car yet, you know? It only really gets fun until you get a car, because then it's really awkward because you gotta be like, hey Ma, can you pick me up? And then you kind of awkwardly sit in the car together until you get back to, your house, and then you can finally split up again. leave your leave your parent. So get the car first, then the sushi dates would come. Why is this appearing? It should only appear if cardio ID doesn't equal 0. Let's do that. Was Uber around back then? It might have been before Uber. There were taxis, but like a little sketchy. Taxis make me nervous even to today. When did Uber become a thing? Uber. When did Uber start in New York? Yeah. Okay, so it was around, but I wasn't paying for Uber. Uber's expensive, man. That's like $40 just for the Uber, and that's, half the goddamn sushi date. At least half. Maybe I wasn't spending quite eight. No, I was spending like $80 on sushi. Of course I was. I would buy so much sushi. Our Uber drivers are the ones who talk about politics. It's our taxi drivers who don't speak at all, because normally English is not their first language, and so they don't want to talk to you. Mostly it's just like sometimes they drive a little crazy. Ubers are worried about their ratings. Taxis don't care. But Ubers tend to be creepier, though, at the end of the day. Because taxis, they don't care, man. They just gotta get to the next fare. Ubers are like, ooh, so this is where you live. Let's just put the mounted check here anyway, even though we don't need it. I'll go back to rest. So rest ID. All right. Oh, seems we have looped. Let's pick a different album. It's a good album. Sure. Anything to fill the void. What was I doing? Cardio. Still doing fucking cardio. Alright. Let's... Is there anything... You know what? Let's put the duration on the bottom so it kind of stacks out a little bit better. What else? What else? What else? So we did duration. Why don't we also add distance? And frankly, with the tactic guys, I don't really want to talk to him either. Invisalign. Eating out is a bit of a hassle now with Invisalign. I thought Invisalign was removable. Can you remove them? Just take him out. Or are you worried you'll be embarrassed? Find you a girl who thinks Invisalign is cute. Easy. Distance. Putting them back to have a flush of teeth. That's fair. But, well, I guess it really depends what you do after the sushi, right? So if you go on your sushi date, and that's, you know, how I used to structure it, is you probably, you do all your activities before the sushi, you know, so like, see a movie or whatever. Then the sushi is last. So then you're either going home by yourself after, and then you can do the floss and brush and whatever the fuck. Or you're bringing her home as well with you, you know, for a continuation of the evening. And then in that case, you can still take a minute to brush your teeth. I don't know. Hopefully the girl thinks it's nice that you have nice teeth. Well, there you go. Of course not. Then the lady will go, ooh, he's so good with his dental work. Wow. You know. So diligent. And he flosses. Wow. Not a lot of people floss. So there's that too. I don't know, man. I don't see a problem. Why is this yelling at me? Is it not validating? Also, do they have good sushi in where you live, like in Bulgaria? I wouldn't think that they would. Just being honest. I think of sushi hubs. I don't think, you know. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Distance is required? No, it's not. Don't be silly. We'll probably be ending the stream fairly soon, so heads up on that. It's getting about time, and I think dinner is nearly ready, so. Some curry prepared by the lovely MB. I'm not saying that they're mud houses, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it has a fantastic hub for, a great immigration hub for Japanese people that they come and really make, great sushi here. We have, there's the Chinese food places and they like pretend to make sushi rolls, but they're usually not that good. So then you gotta go to a real sushi place and then they're actually good and they're like fancy rolls, although a little Americanized, I'll give you that. Um, and so just speaking in terms of just America, I don't think there is very good sushi out off the coast. And, if you went to like fucking Idaho, I think you'd get like the worst sushi ever. There'll probably a place that will sell it that, there probably is a place in Idaho that will sell it to you, but it will be garbage. And it will not be good. I mean, you're a Balkan, place. You got the Dead Sea right there. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, okay. All right. All right. Look, as long as you guys have the pleasure of sushi, it's all good with me. It's important. I mean, you probably get good, like, you go on good spaghetti dates and have, like, Lady and the Tramp moments. I'm sure you guys get good Italian food there. I don't know if Italians immigrate to Bulgaria either, but, like, it's got to be at least one fancy lad who's, like, I'll make you a pasta. I think duration is probably a bit superfluous. They probably know that it's duration. If cardio duration doesn't equal null. And then we'll just add the distance. I'm not talking about whether you have it or at all. And no, I don't think it sounds like a third world country. It's just if it's of marginal quality, you know? Like outside of New York, I don't think there's very good Italian food, you know? I've been to a lot of places. Their Italian food sucks. Look, there are places in the US that don't. I can't assume places in the US don't have sushi. Where my girlfriend's from, upstate New York, they have terrible Italian food. She took me to one of her favorite Italian food restaurants and I was like, this is terrible. And I felt bad for saying it, but like it was. As kind of an Italian American dude, it was really bad. Maybe I have... Yeah, there's no sushi where she's from. So fuck you. Trying to make me look bad. My god. Well, he lives by literally the Dead Sea. Everything should be dead there. It's full of salt. It's the briniest sea in the world. I mean, maybe you guys have good octopus, right? Let's take a visit to a trip to Bulgaria, why don't we, huh? Let's see all your mud houses, as you put it. Where should we go? Where's your favorite Bulgarian location? Impress me. You go to Dobrich. See, this is nice. You got like one build. Oh, there we go. More buildings. Ooh, that's actually a very nice square. All right, we'll go here. Okay, all right, all right. Let's go around. Let's go around town. Okay, well, I spawned in a little bit of an alley, so I'll be a little bit more generous. Capital City Center. Very nice. You got a Pulse Fitness and Spa. Still under construction. As of 2022. Maybe all your sushi places are just under construction. Can't read any of this shit. What's this? Oh. I don't even think this is... Well, now I'm curious. Oh, this is a medical center on the side, but... You have at least mussels. Delicious. Go right? Like, over here? Or did you mean, back on the... Back all the way back here? Search Capana. Bulgaria. Capana. Alright. Looks like typical Euro city. Everything's fucking blurred out though. You have Mexican food. There you go. El Tacos. This translates to the tacos with a weird apostrophe. Has it changed in the last 13 years? Had to do quick math in my head there, of course. Okay, now we're in 2022. I don't know, man. Where am I? I'm in Bulgaria. You tell me. See where the sushi is? Rasa. I would eat there. What kind of place is it? Turkish. I like Turkish food. Halal restaurant. Not bad, not bad. Belugi. Am I gonna find you here on your sushi date? What is this place? Yogi? Why do they have Yogi Bear here? Fast food, Yogi Bear. You guys just just ripping off our trademarks. It's okay. That's fine. It's fine. I get it. I get it. Oh, gelateria. Very nice. Okay, send me to your best sushi place. I probably won't be able to literally type it because, you know, I don't have that keyboard, but... You have boba tea? Okay. You have the trends. Alright, alright. Japonica. Did they really name it that? Are you fucking kidding me? uh, Japonica restaurant. Alright, let's go check it out. Oh. Well, that's not good. Oh, there it is. It just, it's just. Can I get a menu? Oh, there we go. I'm not seeing any sushi rolls. I wish I could read this. Can't read anything I'm looking at. Oh, well, here we have fish, so this must be where the fish is. Uh, can I take a screenshot and like put it through Google or ChatGPT? Let's do that. Here we go. Let's translate this menu. Nigiri. Okay, sushi. There we go. Sashimi. All right, all right. So you don't know what it means either. Wow. Oh, here are the rolls. All right, all right. They look pretty regular. This roll looks tasty. So do these. And they cater. Very nice. Well, if you're ever in New York, in the New York City, say you're sorry and come to dinner. Okay, I'm sorry, PJ. You have adequate sushi restaurants. If you ever make your way to Long Island, New York, or New York City, I'll take you to one of the better sushi restaurants, and I'll show you what you're missing. And then you'll go, ah, you see, it really was all just mud houses, and you'll understand. But all right, it's time for me to eat my meal now. We didn't get very much done today, but I at least had a fun time. Thanks for showing up, and good luck on your app, my guy. Um, I guess we'll leave it at that. Um, well, I'll do my final git push. Cardio schedule started. Yeah, I'll show you my nice mud house. It'd be great. And then when I'm in Bulgaria, you can show me yours. All right, buddy. Have a good night or evening, morning. I don't know. Whatever it is over there. All right. Peace.